let's talk about what is the role of logic in AI. There are basically three types of, let's say, uses, so to speak, of logic. As a tool for analysis, okay, logic, it can be used. It is useful for knowledge representation, okay, how we represent information. We'll discuss more in detail subsequently as well. So we analyze using logic, we represent the knowledge that we have, okay, the information that we have using logic. And logic is also as a programming language. If you've come across the word Prolog, for instance, programming in logic, Prolog was very, very popular. It still is, okay? So a language that has been built on logic itself. Let's talk about some knowledge representation as well. Declarative knowledge. We talk about knowledge representation. Declarative knowledge. What does it mean? Now, major effort of developing limited objective reasoning systems that goes into the management of large and complex bodies of declarative knowledge. Declarative knowledge is something that declares things. It says Earth is round, Earth is a sphere, Sun is part of the solar system, okay? Color of the sky is blue. So these are those declarative information that declare this, they specify some knowledge, okay? So logic helps us in actually representation of declarative knowledge. The reason that goes along with it, the reasoning mechanism with statements that we have, the declared knowledge, okay, this has to be treated as a separate task. What we have learned over the years is that each of these, the representation of the declared knowledge, okay, which is a statement of facts in general, okay, that has to be treated separately as opposed to mixing it up with the rest of the reasoning mechanism. A typical example to understand is the expert systems, the evolution of expert systems. So initially what happened was a very famous expert system called Mycin, developed at Stanford University. Okay, it could reason very well about bacterial infections. Okay, in fact, when it was compared with actual physicians at Stanford, and they were given patients' data, and the same data was given to this Mycin expert system, 9 times out of 10, the results computed by this Mycin expert system were actually better. So that scored 9, and the human experts at Stanford, they got a score of 8. Now imagine the strength of that expert system. However, what was realized subsequently and in there was that there was no separation of knowledge, the static or the declared knowledge. For instance, the background knowledge of the infections, how they are related, okay, that was not separated from the reasoning mechanism. If this patient has this disease or this bacteria, okay, so all of that was mixed up. So a lot of effort actually was put in there. But ultimately it was realized that these have to be treated separately. So there's a knowledge representation part, which is the static part of it. And then there's a reasoning mechanism part. Okay, these have to be treated separately. And this also helps. Time has shown, experience has shown that this also helps from the perspective of software engineering and a modular design, where you can change one module without affecting the other. So explanation capability, okay? Modular design helps you develop the explanation capability. Remember, understand, this is very important. When you go to a doctor, you ask him, why did you prescribe this medicine? And they have a mechanism in their minds from where they can justify the conclusions, okay? So was the case with Mycin. And now we've learned to keep these two things separately.